More the email suggestions. They will rank your emails and how they think it's important as opposed to the priority of delivery. In theory, great. In practice, doesn't work. You know, it's like there's so much stuff where I can't even believe they shipped it. It's insanely bad.
It's also creepy because then you're like, oh, this AI is reading my emails and my group chats and whatever. And we know the way that they ingest that and like feed it into their LLM.
So maybe one day it'll be good. I just needed to take this opportunity to dunk on Apple, which is so bad. Marquise Brownlee rule, which is never buy a product in the future promise of something. He's totally vindicated. I'm the sucker. So let me just put that out there.
What are you gonna do?
The point actually gets to the technology companies, which we wanted to focus on, where they're trying to both juice their valuations and justify their current stock price and also deal with the current administration. So Apple, that's why we wanted to lead with it, but you have to also take a look here at Microsoft. Let's take a look at this, where Microsoft just yesterday actually, quote, reiterated its plan to invest $80 billion in AI, but may adjust our infrastructure in some areas. And so what does that mean? It means that they have canceled data center leases, which is actually a huge deal because not only did Microsoft shares fall on the news, but what it showed is that they are trying to recalibrate both their AI spend, perhaps in reaction to DeepSeek, I don't know, maybe in reaction to this future partnership with ChatGPT, something, but a huge part of their current enterprise value is the hope of this big AI, dream paying off for their customers. And kind of a nightmare scenario is, oh, actually there was a little bit of hype around all of this, which is happening, and that is propping up a massive part of the overall U.S. economy. And when we'll move on a little bit to Starbucks, but the point is that if you look elsewhere at the non-tech sectors, things are not going so great right now. So we are on the precipice of a very shaky situation. We covered it yesterday with the whole Warren Buffett situation.
Yeah, and just to go back briefly to Apple, you shouldn't believe any of these companies' like investment announcements until they actually happen. We've just seen far too many. Remember the big promise of Foxconn in Wisconsin, which never amounted to anything. There was a big Trump promise. Remember the like, don't sell your homes, don't leave the Youngstown area over the Lordstown auto plant. That never came to fruition. So, I think for like Tim Cook is smart here. I'm so close to calling him Tim Apple every time because Trump really has that in my head. But in any case, Tim Cook is playing it smart here in terms of the politics because Trump mostly just wants the announcement. Like he doesn't care to like follow up and make sure you did the thing that you're going to say that you said you were going to do. He just wants to be able to claim like, look at these companies investing in America, coming back to America, creating all these jobs, et cetera, et cetera. And, we've seen the way that all of these many of these Silicon Valley billionaire types have been just blatantly sucking up to Trump because they are worried about the way that he'll use the federal government to, block whatever deals, mergers, et cetera, put tariffs on them. Apple, the tariffs thing is like super real for them in particular. And so they're trying to curry favor however they possibly can. And this is part of that. And I don't have any doubt that they're, probably invest some money and there'll be some jobs or whatever. But I just don't believe any corporate PR hype until it actually comes to fruition. With the Microsoft thing, there's a lot of pieces of that are important. There's a reason they freaked out when this analyst put out the information that they had canceled some of their data center leases, because exactly as Sagar was saying, like this has been so central to the valuations that are justified with these tech companies and so central to the economy, especially central to the stock index, that any pullback in that is a really troubling sign. Microsoft has a partnership with OpenAI, so this, is significant. They've been Sam Altman has been kind of at war with Microsoft in pushing for more spend on these data centers because his analysis has been that's been the way to win the AI game is just by like throwing as much money as you possibly can at these massive data centers. DeepSeek may have changed some of the calculus on that. They also were involved in the big Stargate investment announcement from Trump as well. So there's a lot of things to keep your eye on here and, a reason why this was a big deal in the business world when this analyst revealed that they were pulling back on their data center leases.
Yeah, it's very worrisome. And let's go to the next part because this is what I was talking about earlier. Starbucks actually just laid off 1,100 corporate employees. It's one of the largest cuts in Starbucks history at the corporate level. And they have currently 16,000 corporate support employees worldwide, but that includes employees who aren't impacted. So what this tells us is that there is some trouble, like in the higher levels at the corporate level of some of these consumer-facing retail companies. And I think it's interesting for a variety of reasons, but the main one is that there are other non-technology companies which are all showing signs of cutting and or financial precarity. So what they list here is you have Starbucks, you have Southwest Airlines last week said it would actually reduce 15% of its corporate workforce. The tire maker, Bridgestone, actually just closed a plant, laid off 700 workers there. So looking outside of technology, there's signs of both the Federal Reserve's monetary policy, but also of just consumer pullback, which we have seen broadly with consumer sentiment and more. And it's worrisome when you put that all together, because all you would need is just like one tech stock or one parts of the sector to just go off of a cliff and it could drag down everything else. And it's not like the Federal Reserve could, catch up in time if any of that were to happen. So you could have a stock market crash, you could still have high interest rates, you could have high unemployment. It's really just, it's a disaster all the way around.
Yeah.
Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.